Hello, hello, and welcome aboard for our first episode in English of Knowing the Adventures of the Swordcoast. My name is Kyle. I will be your interviewer today with our friend Lucas Galante, which plays Bertilak the Green Knight on our Curse of Strahd campaign on Wednesday nights. It's for around 2 months now. The campaign has been rolling since February on constant pace of one time a week, and we are down now to the end of the game, closing on to the Ember Temple, the last location normally before the Castle Ravenloft. Mr. Lucas Galante, say your highs to your folk there.
Hello, everybody.
Alrighty, so just for folks to know, Curse of Strahd is a 5th edition campaign that has been remastered from the first edition, made by Tracy and Laura Hickerman, originally for the first edition D&D on 198, and we has been since then working on the lore for the first edition along with the 5th edition hardcover book for the adventure, and currently we are interviewing one of the participants here. Please, Galante, tell us a bit about yourself, whatever you feel you want to share about your RPG experience and personal life. Go ahead.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Galante. I'm a software engineer here in Brazil. I'm 25 years old and have been playing video games and RPG video games for as long as I can remember. Now, I've been introduced to D&D, specifically in the RPG world, about 5 years ago and have been playing regularly ever since. I also have played different systems and I enjoy all of them.
Alright, good one. Now, please tell us a bit more about your character, Bertilak the Green Knight. Who is he on this story of us that you're playing? What are his motives to be on the domains of dread? And what he seeks there?
Well, Bertilak the Green Knight is based on Bertilak the Green Knight of the same name in Arthur's Tales. However, in my version, Bertilak comes from a kingdom that is very similar to Barovia. His kingdom has also been overtaken by a powerful demon. In his case, it's an actual demon. And during his battles to defeat such a powerful monster, he has been kicked out of the kingdom and has tried to reach it ever since. In his travels around the Swordcoast, he has encountered several other kingdoms similar to his own, such as, and currently is, in Barovia, controlled by the Devil Strahd. Bertilak features he is a paladin, he is half-elf, he is of an average age, about 50 years old, and he uses a complete armor, and about his physical appearance, he uses horns on his helms, and all his clothes are covered in foliage and animal and vegetable parts.
Alrighty. So, among your character, what do you like the most about him?
What I like the most about Bertilak is his versatility. So, Bertilak has two types of versatility. The first one, because of his class. Since Bertilak is a paladin, he can fulfill several roles. He can be a tank due to his high AC. He can be a melee DPS character because he has Divine Smite and a few other hits. He can play the support role due to a few of his spells that can actually control the battlefield. And he also has the capacity of becoming the healer in the party due to the paladin's healing capacities. That is about the character. Now, about his narrative, Bertilak has a very neutral alignment. So he can play several roles on the story without too much hardship. That is one of the things that I most like about Bertilak, is that I can be doing different things in the session without going out of character, because Bertilak is the versatile guy. He does not want to die. He wants to find his kingdom, and he will do whatever is required for him to reach it.
Alright. Living through the story, what was the most intense and emotional moment that you had on with Bertilak during the game? One moment that hit you through as a person?
Well, Bertilak has the main objective of leaving Barovia, no matter what. So if he has to kill Strahd, that will be his main goal. And currently, that is his objective because it seems as the only way out. He has had many challenges in the campaign where he has believed that he could leave Barovia through different settings. I believe the one that I've liked the most is the battle against a giant hawk that we've encountered close to the Ember Temple and above the bridge. This hawk, that in that case protected the Sun Sword, that was the weapon that Bertilak was seeking to finally destroy Strahd, was protected by this creature. And to actually retrieve the weapon, he had to fight it. In this moment, Bertilak jumped above the creature, which was flying in midair, and flew with it, fighting on the back of it over 200, 300 feet. In case of a fall, he would be definitely a dead character, of which he actually did fall and did not die, because many of the party helped him during his fall. But what I like most about this scene is the ability that Bertilak wasn't there simply to get the sword. He also attempted to negotiate with the hawk, asking if the hawk had the possibility of taking him away from Barovia, which it stated that it was more powerful than Strahd. However, it did not have the capacity to leave Barovia. Therefore, it wasn't actually more powerful, and it was lying. Bertilak did not know that, so he attempted to negotiate with the hawk and failed to do so because it was incapable of leaving the Shadow Kingdom.
All right. So originally, the Storm Lord, which was part of the scene, Aroka, challenge rating 11 for this encounter, was part of the original story on first edition there. This scene was played on a very versatile manner, and our friend here fell around 300 feet fall flat to the ground. The guys made out an ice corridor, the sorcerer made out an ice corridor for him to fall onto it and lower his damage there. And I remember you said a very important message to the hawk there. You remember what you stated to him when he fell flat to the ground there?
I am Bertilak, the green bird. and I'm going to leave this kingdom with your help or without your help. Or bless me hell, because I will do that.
Yeah, that's exactly like that. Alright, so that was a very interesting scene to the game itself. Following along, what's your opinion on regarding to Curse of Strahd's story? Tell me openly, no need to save criticism, good or bad, all are welcome.
So, Curse of Strahd is regarded as the best 5e campaign so far. And that is mostly due to the presence of Strahd throughout the whole story. So the characters are always encountering Strahd, talking to Strahd, being invited by Strahd to dine in the castle. And that makes the relationship between the characters and the antagonist very good, because they know what they're going to fight at. They're going to fight with. So it's different from other campaigns where the big bad guy only shows up in the end in the dungeon and you just fight him. Strahd is not that person. And that is what makes the story interesting. So Curse of Strahd is placed in Barovia, which is a different setting than most of the 5e stories that are placed in Faerûn, where most of the characters know about and can move to. If that is what you want, do not play Curse of Strahd. You're not going to be traveling to Faerûn. But you're playing in Barovia, a kingdom that is solemnly controlled by Strahd, in which you cannot leave, even though Bertilak tries to. Different manners, flying, one of them, a paladin in heavy armor trying to fly. Yeah, that looks all. So Curse of Strahd is really good because of that. It has an open world sense in Barovia. It has approximately 15 different settings where the players can go through their range in different levels, and in each of them they can encounter Strahd and have and communicate with them. And because of that, that is why the Curse of Strahd is really good. Now, a few regards about Curse of Strahd. It is a challenging scenario since it's open world, so it is challenging for the master to know about the entire campaign, and players can decide to go to different settings at different times, settings of which are very challenging, even regarding high-level characters, and they can definitely die or TPK. So it would be a good suggestion that the master is well prepared and knows the whole story beforehand, which might be a time burden for many people. Now, second regard about Curse of Strahd is the fact about the module is fast in Barovia. The characters will have the ability to travel through different parts of Faerûn to achieve and find different magical items or different spells that they might want to encounter. They'll be limited to what is in Curse of Strahd, and of course the master can change this at any moment. However, not every time that can be done, considering the scenario.
All right. So you already stated through your favorite scene. Now let's talk more about suggestions regarding Curse of Strahd. What do you suggest for any other group that would play on Curse of Strahd with anyone?
So, as mentioned beforehand, be sure of what you want to achieve in Curse of Strahd. So this is a story where players will be trapped in Barovia. They will not have the ability to go out of Barovia and interact with other realms and things like that. So if that is what you're seeking for, Curse of Strahd is not for you. When is Curse of Strahd for you, and what difficulty should Curse of Strahd be played? Curse of Strahd is a very fun story. It is a story mostly for characters that are complete in sense. So if you're a character that really requires several magical items or several spells that you're not sure if you can achieve, talk to your dungeon master beforehand, because you might be very angry if you cannot achieve these items or these goals that you plan to. Second, Curse of Strahd is considered a beginner's model, but it is can also be considered an advanced model. And in what sense is that? Since Curse of Strahd is very open and several communications will occur, and because of your limitedness, Curse of Strahd might be a bit overwhelming for beginner players. So if you're unsure if Curse of Strahd is a module for you, I would recommend that you begin playing a few other smaller modules and actually define if closed module is what you're seeking. If you're a more advanced player and you know that you're committed to playing for several months on a weekly basis, and you want a setting where you can have good interactions with the antagonist, I definitely recommend playing Curse of Strahd. It is a great module.
All right. Finally, regarding to scenes of the game, the second apparition of Strahd at Carston with Juvenstall. Describe me how was the experience to you towards Bertilak View.
So this apparition of Strahd at Argynvostholt was right after the party managed to convince the Revenants and the Revenant Masters in Argynvostholt to befriend them in the fight against Strahd. And soon after they leave, Strahd appears and captures Irina, which is one of the protected NPCs that the party had with them. And it became a very challenging moment for all of us. First, because we're a low-level party and very unable to fight a powerful creature such as Strahd. And however, Bertilak did not know that at the time, and that he could actually defeat Strahd there and then. And boy, did he fail miserably. However, they did earn a valuable lesson from Argynvostholt. First, failure. They lost Irina. Strahd captured them. And second is, Strahd is a powerful foe that knows very well his kingdom and cannot be easily defeated. To defeat Strahd, the characters would need to encounter other members and magical items that would enable them to actually cause damage to Strahd. And that gives motivation to the story. So that is why it is fun to have Strahd appear at different parts of the game. Because if he does, the characters will have more motivation to actually go and destroy Strahd in the end of the game, the Castle Ravenloft.
Alright, let's proceed on through. So, the combat against the Abbot back on the Abbey of St. Markovia in his death. How was that for you?
So, the party challenged erroneously the Abbot because we believed that he was not a nice creature, of which we defined that he was not. However, he was the protector of Krizek, and without his presence, Krizek would likely fall. We challenged the Abbot and eventually defeated him in a hard combat. And because of his death, Strahd appeared and declared that Krizek would be destroyed. That was a moment that our party, which is a good alignment party, felt very bad because we defeated what was likely a devotee of Lathander, and a protector of Krizak, and enabled Strahd to destroy one more city. We had already lost Valaki at this moment. So as you can see, our party actually helped Strahd more than we can actually defeat him. But so that was a very tough moment for everybody. We tried to do our best and convinced other members to help Krizak. We have not yet returned to such a location, so we do not know if Krizak has indeed fallen, although we believe it has. And it was one more failure for the party, and it was one more failure we had to deal with. And it is part of Curse of Strahd. In Curse of Strahd, you're going to fail, 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 because Strahd controls everything. The Strahd is the master in his kingdom. Until you become powerful enough to become an actual burden for him, an actual challenge for Strahd, the party will fail, and that is part of the module, we believe. So that is how Bertilak felt about the death of the abbot.
All right. Comparing now your previous experience on tabletop games, what you would say highlights Caio Corsado, your current game master, the most?
So this is my actually first paid table, and it's actually been a very pleasant experience. What I highlight about Caio is that he has definitely read the whole module and is able to play the campaign in an open scenario. So we are able to move from one location to the next without much challenge. He knows every location. He has prepared such locations so we can actually move around and have the open world experience that should come with Curse of Strahd. Now, keep in mind that this is a hard thing to achieve, and not all dungeon masters can achieve such a feat. So before playing Curse of Strahd, definitely just talk to your dungeon master if you're going to play it in an open world scenario and the master has prepared all the settings, or if the module will be prepared in a more linear manner, and the dungeon master will try to guide the players through different points.
All right. Finally, comparing out your previous experiences on your free tables that you played, along with your first paid campaign, what you would say is the beneficial parts and the conflicting parts or bad parts regarding it?
I've had a positive experience with the paid tables. I've also had a positive experience with the free tables. The first and third most negative part about a paid table is that you have to pay for it. However, it comes with benefits, obviously, and that is the compromise between the players and the dungeon masters. In free tables, this compromise is not always there, and it's okay because everybody has their own life and things can happen. But however, the moment you're paying for something, you kind of reserve it in your schedule, and everybody's going to show up. The dungeon master is actually going to prepare everything. So it becomes a service and not something that might spontaneously happen and fall apart. So that is the main advantage of finding a paid table. Now, in both tables, in both scenarios, you should find a party where the dungeon master is somebody that has some experience, especially if you're paying for it, you expect experience. But you should also find a dungeon master that you feel comfortable with. In both scenarios, try to find a table and a module and a dungeon master that will fit in for everything.
All right, agreeing on to you. So normally there's a say there on that most of the community says not every DM is for every player, not every player is for every group, and so on. So totally agree on you there. Finally, is there anything else you want to comment, recommend, or share along that was not previously asked to you on this interview?
Well, I'd like to tell everybody to have fun and play a lot of RPG. I do recommend Curse of Strahd, and if you want to play with Caio Corsado, I do recommend. This style of play is very fun, and we've been enjoying it for the last months, and hopefully we will be able to defeat Strahd or die trying. And I hope everybody is well, and everybody stays well, and good luck.
All right, thank you for sharing your time with us, Mr. Galante. Glad to have you all on this interview as well, folks. I hope to see you along, not only on the Domains of the Dread, but on every story that we fable through together. Good luck, and see you there.